And successes again, we're living in our own house now. We're able to save up for that deposit and we're able to buy it and buy our own house within 3 years, which is amazing because it's a big feat that we're able to conquer. When we came to this country at first, we decided we're not going to live in the rented apartment for years and years. We're going to try and save up and buy our own house. And we're able to do that. And yeah, it's been good. It's amazing.
My guest today wears many hats. She's a wife, a mom, a nurse, a financial educator. She'll be sharing her relocation journey with us. Thank you for coming on my Japa Chronicles.
You're welcome.
Can you please tell us your name?
My name is Blessing Henry Obot. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I like to say I'm a mom and a wife before any other thing because I think being a mom and a wife is my calling than before my profession and every other thing. So yeah, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and a nurse, and I also like to educate people on finances. And yeah, that's that's the little intro.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Nigeria. Going into Nigeria, I'm from Edo State. My husband is from Akwa Ibom. And I know people say when you are married, you have to now come from where your husband is from. So I would now say I'm from Akwa Ibom as well.
How long have you been in the UK?
I've been in the UK now for 3 years. I came in January 2021. Yeah, it's 3 years, almost 4 years. Hey, I'm becoming old.
What were you doing back home in Nigeria?
Back home, I used to work in the hospital in accident and emergency unit. And then when I got pregnant with my second child, I stopped working and just stayed at home, taking care of my children, being a housewife, vibing. Didn't have to go to work or suffer myself. Yeah, it was nice. I miss it because now you have to go to work all the time.
There's no housewife in the UK.
There's no housewife. It's so stressful. God. Here, you have to do something, and it's different.
Why did you decide to relocate?
I think the idea of relocating was more of my husband. We used to have a farm. It's a very, very big backstory. It's very long. So we used to have a farm, and we used to have like 2,000 beds, 5,000. We had like 5,000 beds that were laying eggs. And I think the Christmas before 2020, that's 2019, our farm got broken into. Nigeria, Christmas, and you're selling your chickens, your turkey, and everything. So right before that time, our farm got broken into that early week of December, and they stole all of our beds, almost everything. And then my husband was like, I beg, let's Kukuma leave this country. I think that was the breaking point. And then we had to speak to like a few family friends, and they said, oh, your wife is a nurse, you can go to Canada. And then we tried to do Canada for like 1 year. It wasn't working out. And then when I went to do my IELTS classes, I met someone there. And she was like, oh, I'm going to the UK. I'm a nurse. I'm like, I beg, I don't want to go to the UK. I want to go to Canada. I did not even know that UK was way easier to come as a nurse than Canada. So I said, oh, I'm going to Canada. That's where I'm going and all of that. And then I think after my exams, I came back because Canada you have to get 7.5. I think the least you have to get the 7. And I got 6.5 in writing. And when I came back to do the second test, I heard that lady had already gone to the UK. And I said, it's so quick. So I said, okay, fine. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to the UK. And basically also like for the children. But it was mostly for us first, before even for the children. A lot of people say, oh, I'm coming to the UK for my children. Yeah, but for us, it was mostly to find our bearings because I was not practicing as much as I would have. In Nigeria, you can afford to be an housewife and your family will still go on well. But it was mostly for us. I wanted to practice and I wanted to really practice very well. Not like I'm not practicing well in Nigeria, but I just felt like if I'm here, I'll do a lot more with this nursing than in Nigeria. So I said, okay, since you can come as a nurse and you can bring your family, then let's move. And yeah, that's how we moved. That's where we came.
So you came in as a nurse. What immigration pathway was that?
As at that time, there was no health and care visa, so it was skilled worker visa. So it was skilled worker visa, tier 2 work visa. You have to come in as a nurse, you get sponsorship from your employer, and then you can bring your family, and that's it. You don't have to pay health surcharge as at that time as well if you're coming in as a nurse.
So when you got to the UK, what cultural adjustment did you have to make or deal with?
First, before coming, we have to read a lot of books because my husband likes to read anyways. But I have to tell him, like, we have to start changing our mindset to the way that it is in the UK. It's not the same where we are coming from. So when we came, at first it was very cold. We came in January, and I think the day that we came, it snowed on that day as well. So it was very cold. And yeah, we got there, we got some refreshment, we got relocation package, there was food and all of that. And then there are a few things that are like, I think on the milk, you say if you open it, you have to eat it within 3 days. So if you see, and we're like, oh my God, this whole carton of milk, you have to finish it within 3 days. And I think all of us in the were just drinking tea morning, afternoon, and night. Not knowing that that's actually just best before, it's not expiry date. I think until I spoke to the people, they said, if you can finish it, yeah, but you don't have to finish it. It was really crazy because we were on a rampage. Our chicken, everything, we're just cooking every day, trying to be sure that we'll finish it within the 3 days so that it doesn't go bad. Because coming from Nigeria, you're not used to wasting food. You're not used to throwing food away. So you have to make it work one way or the other. Another cultural thing that we went through was always saying sorry. Even up to now, I even still say, oh, I'm sorry. And they'll say, it's not your fault. Stop saying sorry. I'm like, oh, yes, I know. I'm sorry. In Nigeria, you walk past somebody, you walk the wrong way, you say sorry. You touch somebody on the hand, you say sorry. But here, they're like, sorry, it's not your fault. Why are you saying sorry? I'm like, okay, what else should I say? So right now, just smile. I'll just be looking like, okay, I should not say sorry because I didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, I'm just trying to sympathize. But then saying sorry does not mean the same thing over here. So it's a whole different thing entirely.
You had a baby just about when you got into the UK. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Can you tell us what that situation was like?
I'll just say that by the grace of God, to be honest, because I already finished in Nigeria. I already finished all of my exams and everything. It was the process where you start looking for a job. And then found out I was pregnant. I'm like, oh my God. I was telling my husband, like, do we really want this baby at this point in time? Because we're trying to relocate at the same time getting pregnant. Who's going to give somebody that's pregnant a job? Knowing that pregnancy can be so tough. And pregnancy is usually so tough for me. I will be almost bedridden for like the first 3 months. And even like the second trimester, I would be so tired. And I told my husband, like, do we really want that baby? I want to travel. And you know how, if I say, okay, let me stay back and have the baby, I have to wait for the baby to at least become 3 months or 6 months before I relocate again. And like, if I decide to keep this baby and we give birth before we move, it's going to be another story. My husband said, just keep going. Let's see. God will sort himself out. And then I started applying for jobs. I got the first offer. I think I got about 3 offers at first. And then they said they wanted to see like tuberculosis certificates. And on that certificate, they have to tick pregnant or not pregnant. And obviously, you are going to have an X-ray to have the tuberculosis test done. So when I got there, they were like, Madam, are you pregnant? I just kept looking. Madam, are you pregnant? I said, yes, I'm pregnant. She said, oh, you cannot have the X-ray. I said, okay, fine. And the certificate, they also ticked pregnant. So when I sent that certificate to a few of my employers, they just ghosted me. They didn't reply my emails anymore. They're like, and I was just thinking, oh my God, they saw that I'm pregnant. They don't want me anymore. What do I do in this situation? What do I do? I said, okay, fine. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I just keep applying. If God doesn't want me to move, then I would not get an offer that will take me. But if I get an offer that will take me, even while I'm pregnant, then I'll be fine. So I kept applying for more jobs. And then I got an offer. And they did not even ask me for the certificate. They just wanted like my NMCN portal to be completed and all of that. And I didn't tell them I was pregnant because I was like so scared. Like if I tell them I'm pregnant, they might say we'll wait, give birth and then come. And I'm like, no, I really, really want to come. So I kept my mouth shut. I kept telling my friends like, I'm pregnant, what happened to them. They just said, don't worry, keep going. Then we came to the UK. As soon as we came, I think we came on a Friday. As soon as we did our induction on Monday, I sent an email to the HR leader. I said, I'm pregnant. I was so scared to receive like the reply. I sent the email, I went to sleep. When I woke up, I saw the reply. She was like, congratulations, I'm happy for you. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, you're not angry? Said, no, no problem. As long as you're fit to fly, you're fit to fly here, you're fit to fly to Northern Ireland for your OSCE, then there's no problem. And yeah, that was it. I came in, did my OSCE, passed the exams. Then I was supposed to start working in the ward. But then my employer was like, no, you can't work at this time. You have to stay at home because of COVID. And because I didn't take one of the vaccinations that you have to take before you can complete your health clearance. And then they said, no, you can't. You have to stay at home. And then they said, oh, we'll find somewhere to place you. That you will do like a non-patient facing role. And I said, okay, fine, I'm waiting, I'm at home. But after my exam, people started going to do, I had going to work, I was still at home. The first 1 week, no reply. Second week, no reply. I kept messaging the HR, like, what's going on? I'm still at home. I need to go to work because if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. So how is this going to work out? I kept messaging her, and then she messaged me when she wants to have a meeting with me. So she had a meeting. She said, I'm not going to work because I'm pregnant and I've not passed my clearance, but it's not my fault, and I'll get paid until I go on maternity leave. And that day I was looking at my phone like, is this not a miracle? Like, there's no notification where it can happen. It cannot happen in Nigeria. I know that for sure. I don't know where else it will happen. But the lady said, don't worry, it's not your fault, blessing. You stay at home, you keep getting paid until you decide to go for maternity leave, then your payment will stop because you're not qualified to be paid for maternity leave anyways. And I just stayed at home. I stayed at home for 4 months. I had my baby in May. I came in January, did my OSCE in February. So March, April, I was being paid full salary, like the basic salary. I was sitting down at home eating chocolates. I'm just eating more that I did not work for. And yeah, that's just the grace of God. I'm telling you. Back to like being pregnant, because this is almost like all the work stuff. But then I went to register for antenatal, and I was already like 7 months pregnant. I think I was 7 months pregnant then, and that's the time I could get an appointment date to register for antenatal. And then I got there. Me being new in the country, I did not even know what was going on. And then they asked me like, "Oh, have you done antenatal before in Nigeria?" I said, "No, I didn't go." And the lady was like, "Oh, you didn't go?" I said, "No, I didn't go because in Nigeria you can just go for ultrasound. Your baby is doing fine, and then you take your prenatal vitamins, and that's basically like ultrasound." And I was feeling like, okay, that's basically like antenatal. So she's like, "You didn't go for antenatal?" I said, "I didn't go. I work in the hospital. Some doctors have seen me, blah blah blah." And she said, "Okay, fine." And then she reported me to safeguarding. I think they called it hidden pregnancy or something. And then on my way home, she called me and she said, "I'm so sorry, I have to report you to safeguarding because you did not declare your pregnancy until 7 months. So we don't know what your mindset is like and why you have done that." I'm like, I don't understand. I came here when I was 5 months pregnant. I was doing my OSCE exams, trying to settle down. You cannot register for a GP until you've gotten a permanent house address. So I did not do all of that until 7 months pregnant. And then she reported me to safeguarding. Oh my God. And then they called me. They're like, "Why didn't I declare my pregnancy?" I told them, "I'm just new in this country. I really don't know how it's done here, but this is what happened." And then they said, "Okay, fine, they understand, they're going to close the case." I'm like, wow. So anything in this country that you just say, you just miss yam, like we say in Nigeria, you just miss yam. They will just carry you to safeguarding and put a flag on you that you are doing something wrong. And then after that, I gave birth to my baby in the hospital. It was really nice. It was a loving experience. I had two of my children in Nigeria and I had one here. So the difference is clear. It's like Coke and Fanta. Very different experiences. In the UK, like you get one nurse that is just sitting beside you till you give birth. She's not going anywhere. She's monitoring your vitals, monitoring the baby. Like she's at your beck and call. Even if your husband is not there or your birthing partner is not there, you have somebody on standby. But in Nigeria, you know how it is. It can be like 7 nurses to like 100 patients. And everybody running around and you're dragging the nurse, come and check me, she's not checking. But it's amazing. Oh, it was so nice. And I said, if I want to have another baby, to definitely be here. Definitely not going to do that experience back again in Nigeria. God forbid, it's never happen. But yeah, it was nice. The birthing experience was wonderful. The work experience as a pregnant woman was perfect. It was perfect, to be honest.
Let's quickly talk about child raising and childcare in the UK. What's that like for you?
Oh, it's hard. If you find your destiny helper, don't let him go. And that destiny helper can be in a friend, in your husband, your neighbors, your church members, your fellow African people that just want to rally around you to help you. It's the best. Childcare is choking. If you don't have like a plan in place, you'll be frustrated because you cannot go to work and you cannot do anything. You have to have a plan in place. One of the plans that we had in place was I'll be a permanent staff and then he'll be flexible. He'll do agencies or his business or whatever he wants to do. So that way he will plan himself according to my schedule. And that's what we've been doing. And although there are some times where there are lapses, like I have to be at work by 7 o'clock, I have to leave the house by 6:30 or 6 o'clock, and it will not be back until like 8 o'clock or 8:30. So what we did during those times that we have a gap in between, we would usually just pay someone that would come and stay with the kids for like 2 hours, 3 hours, stay with them for that time. And even getting that someone safe is another ball game entirely. And how we got the first people that we were using when we were still living where we used to live was when we were in the country at first, we used to stay in a shared apartment with Pakistani's family. So when we're moving out, I was still pregnant. Then I told the lady that when I give birth, we need their help with like childcare and stuff. But you know how they are, they got lots of family around them, so they really don't even need help for childcare. When I gave birth, I called them like, I'm gonna need your help when my kids come, because my kids did not come with us, so just me and my husband at first. So when the kids came and we needed to start working, would call one of them. They gave us like the number of one of their aunties or their cousin or someone that would come to the house and stay with the kids. That's what I've been doing up to now. So up to now, we've just been doing opposite schedules. Sometimes I'll not see my husband for like days and days because my husband goes to school. Because now I started going to school and he's also working. And me, I'm going to work, kids, agency shifts, bank shifts, everything, packing all the money. So yeah, that's the only way that we're able to like withstand the whole childcare thing, because you cannot dare to be a housewife here. It won't work. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. It goes, if you're doing days, I'm doing nights. If I'm doing nights, it's doing days. And then to make our family work, we pick one day that both of us will not go to work, that will just be at home and stay with the kids. If we have anything in school, one person is away. I have a calendar somewhere by my kitchen that I write all the important dates so that he knows what day is going to do whatever it is, and then I know what days I'm going to do whatever it is. And that's how I've been planning it. It's not easy because sometimes you do not even see the person. You just see, hey, hello, hi, and then it's good because you are coming back early. And yeah, that's it. It's a merry-go-round and it's very hard.
You would definitely agree with the idea that it's better as a couple in the UK than being single.
Oh, yes. It's way better. Single moms or single dads, they are trying like 1,000 times. I think I have a friend that's a single mom and she came as well with her daughter. It was very hard. There are some days that she would cry because she cannot go to work. If you don't have a partner that is helping her, I'll go crazy because even with the husband that's helping me, I'm going crazy. I don't have anybody helping me at all. It's hard. It's very easier with a partner than the single person, especially when you have kids.
So we have been talking about all the downsides all the while. Let's talk about the wins, the successes that you have recorded just because you relocated to the UK.
A lot of successes. So you can afford to buy what you want. You know how in Nigeria is people that are earning big money that can afford to buy big TV. You can afford to buy big fridge and all of that because you're earning good money. But here, like the average person with your salary, you can get what you want, like furnish your house in a very, very good way. That's just to say the list. I'm going to start from the list because that's like the list of all the things. As long as you are living according to your paycheck, you might not be able to save as much as you want at first, but you can afford your basic amenities. You can afford to pay all your bills. You can afford to furnish your house, even might not the freebies. You can afford to do those things on contract or in any way you can afford to do it. And then to go to the next level, you grow. In Nigeria, there are a lot of nurses that you will be at that ground level for years and years, and when you're applying for promotion, nobody's giving you, or you don't even have that zeal to apply for promotion. You're just there. You will see people that are working as a nurse for 10 years, they're still stuck in that same level. It's hardly the case in the UK professionally. Sometimes when you're in the same post for so long, they tell you, and won't you apply for this post? They come and ask you, won't you apply for this? Won't you want to move higher than this? It's only when you decide to be stagnant that you're stagnant in this country. If you decide to better yourself, to do more courses, and to upgrade yourself, you will definitely grow. And successes again, we're living in our own house now. We're able to save up for that deposit and we're able to buy it and buy our own house within 3 years, which is amazing because it's a big feat that we're able to conquer. When we came to this country at first, we decided that we're not going to live in the rented apartment for years and years. We're going to try and save up and buy our own house. And we're able to do that. And yeah, it's been good. It's amazing.
How easy is it to get a house? Because that seems to be like a major target for most immigrants.
Yes, that's true. It's a very straightforward procedure, to be honest. But I think a lot of times we just feel like it's something that you have to have stayed there for 5 years. When I came after the you have to stay here for 5 years before you can get the house. You have to do a lot of things. But it's not. It's only very straightforward. And how we even knew that we could get a house was when we came, that was still the Pakistani family. They opened our eyes to a lot of things that we can do. The lady that had that house that we're living with, she had about 5 other houses. And her husband used to own those off-license shops. And that had we were able to buy 5 houses. And then she told us, just do what you can and get on the ladder. Buy one property. And the steps are really easy. You save up your deposit. I think the first step is you look at where you want to stay. Where do you want to stay? Well, we used to live in Camberley. Camberley was quite expensive. And to get a 2-bedroom house there would be like £350,000. And then we knew that you have to save up 10% for that money. And saving up for that money, you can save up for that 10%, maybe like 2 years, 3 years. You can save up for that £35,000. But with your salary and your partner's salary combined, be able for the bank to give you 215,000 as a mortgage. So we looked at it, we compared our salaries together. Then I was just a band. My husband was just doing agency shifts, and then we compared it together. We spoke to a mortgage broker, and the mortgage broker said, no, with your salaries combined, you cannot afford to get 215,000 as a mortgage from the bank. Even if you save up that 15,000, that 10%, it still will not be enough to get what you are looking for. So we said, okay, let's go to a cheaper area. And then we came a little bit further down to where we are now, and we could be able to save up that 10% and still be able to get the bank to afford the other part of the money for the mortgage. I think in our own case, we even saved up to 15%. The main thing that you should do when you're going to get a house is to save up that money, and that's where the problem is. Saving up that money is a lot of consistency and a lot of discipline. A lot of things that you definitely want to use your money to do, but you cannot do it at that time because you have a goal you're trying to achieve. And that's the main thing in the process. The main process is saving up the money. And if you can save up the money, then the ability and a lot of other things, they will just fall into place.
Thank you for the lessons.
You're welcome. It's what I do. I like to tell people how to buy their houses because I'm a living testimony of it.
I have seen on your social media pages.
Yes.
And I also saw on your social media pages your peculiar stance on certain topics. So we'll discuss just 2 of those.
Okay.
Share your opinion on black tax.
You see, my family people, they know me that they cannot come and ask me for money. Minus being second to last born. So nobody's going to ask me for money anyways because I'm really giving money to my younger brother. Everybody they are doing well on their own. So I'm not giving anybody money. That's my parents as well. Black tax is so annoying because you will always end up being the fool. And you will always end up being the one that you have so much but you cannot give. Oh, these UK people, they don't like to give money. You give them your all, and then they'll tell you, you've been abroad for 20 years, never feel build house. Meanwhile, you'll be sending them all your money. One reason why we bought our house was we stopped sending money home. We told some of our family members, not even our parents, we told our parents as well, this 1 year, we're not sending any money to anybody. Right now, this is what we're trying to achieve. And we have very understanding parents. I have very understanding parents because of basically my parents. And they said, yeah, that's fine. Focus on yourself and don't do any of those things. Focus on what you want to do. But there's still some family members that will not even want to listen to what you have to say. They will still keep on coming with one cock and bull story or the other. You are here suffering and entering cold, sun, rain, winter, summer, spring, everything to work. When can you want to go and be eating Nishewu and drinking Gouda? After telling you cock and bull stories. So no, I feel like you can give, but have a plan. What we do now is we have a budget for giving money. So we cannot just be giving people money anyhow because we have definitely heard a lot of shady stories that you have to find out later that people are taking you for a fool. I don't mind giving people money. I'm a very generous person in my own right. But it has to fall within our budget. So if you come at the right time and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I need my daughter's school fees of 100,000 naira, blah, blah, blah. If it's genuine, it's fine. And things like that as well. We don't even pay the money to you. We will ask you for the school account number. Because you don't want to give for a food. You don't have money that you want to waste. Yeah, if you're trying to do good with your money, you have to do it to go to the right source. So you can get the right blessings from what you're giving your money for. My own stance on black taxes, have a budget. I have friends that they've not been able to save any money because any money that they make, they send it back home. You're sending everything that you're making here back home. My brother needs this, my uncle needs that, my auntie needs that. What about you? I tell my first child, prioritize yourself. I tell myself, I prioritize yourself. If I spend money to somebody, if I send you £50, I will spend £70 on myself the next day. Because I don't want to spend my money on people that are me that are working in the morning. The horse is dying and other people are enjoying. No.
Okay, so very quickly, can you touch on investing back home? Because I think I've heard something about that also.
Investing back home. I'm not investing back home. Not now. Not now because I'm not there. And Nigeria is at a point, if you are not there and the way the economy is, you likely invest the money and then you get nothing back in return. Investing is something that when you put your money in, you get something back. It's not when you put your money in, you get less. Yeah, they are bad investments, which is not something that anybody should put in their hands into. So Nigeria, for me right now, is bad investment. I'm not putting my money there. Yeah, I think that's it though. If you want to invest back home, you want to build a house back home, I would suggest that you go by yourself, carry your money there, buy the land, come back. You have money again, carry your money there, stay for a while, do your small thing, come back. Or at best, buy in an estate or with those developers and you know that your money is going to good use. And using family members that we have heard a lot of stories that are always crazy. Family members, there's limited extent that you can go to draw your money back from them because people will come and gather and say, it's your brother, it's your sister, don't do like that. So yeah, if you want to get some money back home, it has to be like a genuine business as well. I have friends that have said, oh, they want to start a poultry, they want to start a farm, or like a catfish business and all of that. If you're not there, you're just emptying someone else's pockets. And it's just going to be a waste of time in the end because you won't get the returns you're supposed to be getting. So me on investing back home is, my retirement plan is investing back home, but it's not right now. I'll put it in motion maybe like 10 years before I leave this country. Right now, I'm not looking at investing back home.
That was going to be my last question. If you would ever at some point move back to Nigeria to settle?
Oh yes, definitely. I miss Nigeria. See, no matter how life is so comfortable here, There's something about being around your people that get your mannerisms. Like, you can use eye to talk to them and they will understand. No, you are doing like this with your eye. I was asking you something in your eye. What's going on? I miss my people. I miss the food. I miss everything. So yeah, definitely. My husband is a staunch believer of going back home. So every time he asks me, are you still going back home? I'm still going, I'm still going. I'm definitely still going back. So I will go, but we need to gather out the money that I want to gather here first. This coming to the abroad was just like a stepping stone to something greater that you can do for our country. And yeah, we'll go. Definitely.
Is there any advice that you can give to someone looking to relocating to the UK or anywhere? Just somebody looking
Anywhere
to relocate
in
abroad.
the abroad. It's not easy at first. And to look so hard. Even for us that came with, we had soft landing. As me, I'll say I have soft landing because I came with a job. I started getting paid from the first month I came in this country. Have a plan in place. How are you going to survive when you start to forget here? And then when you start surviving, are you going to continue surviving? Are you going to now start living your life? Because there's a surviving mindset of, okay, let me get there. Let me find my bearing. When you find your bearing, what's next? How are you going to better your life of your family? How are you going to better your life? And yeah, just keep developing yourself. My husband is a strong believer of developing yourself, reading books, doing more courses, keep growing, don't settle. When you come at first, yeah, sure, you can settle for the menial job and all of that, but don't dwell there. Don't dwell in those menial jobs. Don't say, okay, I want to be a cleaner for 15 years. No, the people that have gone from being cleaners to managers, what else can you do when you get here? Don't settle. Don't settle for the little things. You can use that to survive, but let that not be your end goal. Because I believe that in this abroad, the sky is the limit. The max that you say you can achieve, there are people that are willing to push you as long as you can push yourself to get to those points. Yeah, and financially, cut your coat according to your size. Don't rush. There's no point. Nobody looking at you. Many people call, they want to see that, oh, you're in the abroad. You go outside and snap picture. Nobody know where you're sleeping. Nobody know how you are laying your bed. Start small. If you can afford to take an apartment for the time being, stay there. If you can afford to live in a one bedroom for now, you can manage there with your family. All of you can manage first. Then you can then decide to step up as your income is increasing. You can then decide to add more responsibilities to what you have. But don't rush. Nobody's rushing. Start small and then scale up from there. That's it though.
Blessing, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us and your knowledge. I really enjoyed this conversation with you.
Oh, thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.